Welcome back to Jimbo Plays Static Shift Racing. This time around I'll be answering some questions posted by our loyal Discord users over on the Static Shift Racing Discord. Don't forget to join our Discord community if you haven't already to stay up to date with the latest happenings in Static Shift Racing. I won't be answering all the questions, as some of them are too cooked to answer. Anyway, enjoy the background footage of me playing SSI with my main account. Alright, let's blast through these questions. What is your guys' favourite Static Shift Racing car? The Ruse. Do you plan on making games either related or not related to SSR? Yes. Will SSR be available on Xbox? Unlikely. Maybe PC one day, but the consoles are a bit of a stretch. What was the hardest thing you encountered during the development of SSR? Figuring out a good way to work together. Business relationships could be hard. Will there ever be an update where we see SSR work around other decades, i.e. 60s, 70s, even early 2000s, whether that will be SSR2 or not? We might introduce some older cars into the current SSR. I think a couple 70s and 80s cars for sure, and early 2000s cars, we'll see. Would y'all ever consider the ability to race with other players? Yes, we've considered it. Maybe one day. Will we ever hire other devs or stay as a duo developing the game? At the moment we're a duo. If the game expands, we'd like to hire some people, but we still want to keep the company quite small. Maybe like a maximum of 10 people. We don't want to be a huge studio. What did you guys do before working on game development? I worked at a supermarket as a night filler. I've worked in a mail room. I've worked on TV shows and advertising campaigns, doing 3D modeling. Jimbo worked at a mobile phone store for a while. And what daily routine do you guys do every day? Well, personally, wake up, go for a run, have breakfast, ride to work all day. Go home, have dinner. It's pretty simple. Do we ever plan on making premium cars earnable by other means other than paying? Probably not. What's my favourite SSR body kit? I think all of the kits for the Renan are just my favourites. They're so good. Is SSR planned to be available in any other device? Like I said before, maybe PC. Do you have a defined goal for SSR, or do you just let it flow? We kind of have a goal, but mostly just let it flow. What games do you play other than SSR when you're not working on it? I play Trackmania a lot. Tim likes StarCraft and trying out lots of indie games. Can we make a new parts updates with parts suggested designed by players in the community? We could. Is there going to be interior customization? No. Too hard. How did Jimbo and I meet? We met working at Panda Arcade, working on their game Pico Tanks. You should check it out. Pico Tanks is pretty sick. We put a lot of work into it and would love to see it do better than it currently is. What car do I drive? I have a 1986 Mercedes 560 SEC. And Jimbo drives a Toyota Camry Altis. How did we both get into cars? I kind of always have been into cars. I like racing, F1. Jimbo's more into the game development side of cars. He's worked previously on Talk Burnout, another car racing game, and enjoyed that. How big / long is the new district? In terms of scale, it's maybe twice as large as the current district, but it doesn't have twice as many roads, if that makes sense. Do we have any pets, cats, dogs, or giant tarantulas? I don't have any pets, but Jimbo likes to keep fish, and soon we'll be getting an office fish or crab, if things go my way. Do we have a planned release date for the new map? No, but soon. Soon. Was there any stuff that was teased but never made it into the game? I don't think so. We've been pretty careful about what we've teased. Do we drink water? Yes, of course. But not enough. What car of your choice would you love to add to the game? My car? Favorite song? At the moment, maybe Prada. What car is your all-time favorite? It shifts around too much to name just one. Also 300 ZX when one day. Do we eat mayo? Yep. Mayo's good. How do you find / where do you go to find aftermarket parts for cars to model? The best place to go is to type in the car into Google, and the Google Images, all the most popular stuff comes up first, so that's kind of where I start. Which Sylvia gen do I like the most? Probably S13, I think, as you can tell from the game. What gives you guys the idea to start this game in the first place? We really thought there hadn't been a game similar to the Need for Speed Underground series on mobile that was good. So that's what we wanted to do. Do we have plans on making more games? And if so, what would they be about? Yeah, we do. Don't want to share anything, it's too early. How long do you work on the game when on weekdays? 9 till 5:30. What's my favorite K car? Oh, what's it called? The AutoZam AZ1 or Suzuki Jimny. They're like the old ones. They're sick. What have gotten you into game development in the first place? Playing games. They're just, yeah, so much fun. Fun to do it as a career. What is your favorite sports? Formula 1, does that count? What's my favorite racing game? At the moment, my favorite racing game has to be Trackmania, but Need for Speed Underground holds a special place in my heart. Do Australian doing Burnout every morning? Yep. What's my favorite food? Pizza. What do I use to model the body kits? Maya. What software engine do you use to make SSR run with high graphics? We use Unity, just like Shift Racing. And I model the cars in Maya, like I just said. How long did you learn to code / model? And are you silly? We're both extremely silly. And, you know, how long it took to learn, we're still learning. We're both in our early 30s, so our whole lives we've been learning and we're still learning. Do I have titanium spoons that you can borrow? I don't know what this spoons thing is, I'm gonna be honest. I think I missed something. So, no? Do I like Vegemite? And also, what's your inspiration for SSR? I don't really like Vegemite, I know. An inspiration for SSR? I think it's pretty clear. Need for Speed Underground 2 was a massive inspiration. Which one is harder, modeling the game or coding? I do the modeling and Tim does the coding. So I'm going to say the coding is more difficult. There's a lot of questions about the inspiration for the game, and yeah, obviously Need for Speed Underground 2. But I think the Burnout series is a big inspiration. Trackmania, even things like Grand Theft Auto for how I built the world and how I wanted the open world to feel like. Obviously we don't have as much detail as those games, but yeah, those are some of the major inspirations. Do you have a frying pan made out of ice? Why? Where do you get the fictional names for the cars in SSR? I do a lot of research. Every car name in the game has a little Easter egg in it. Do we breathe? Yes. Do we like road burn games? Yeah, they're alright. We have a relationship with them. They're cool. How did you guys come up with the Timbo Jimbo name? It just came to me. It's a combo of our name. When are y'all getting married? We're not getting married. Coffee or tea? I'm gonna go coffee 100%. Tea is just hot leaf water. I'm actually not sure which one Timbo prefers. He often drinks both. Do you plan to make more giveaway events? Yep. Can we have a Timbo plays SSR video? You'll have to ask him. How many cars/maps do we plan on adding? How big do you want SSR to become as a game? As long as it's financially viable, we'd like to keep working on SSR so the car list and the map list can continue growing. I think with one map at the moment, it's a little sad, so we definitely want more maps. And as you can see, a new map is coming soon. My favorite car brand? I think it's probably gonna have to be Mercedes or Mazda. Mazda's pretty cool. What is your favorite cartoons? I don't know. I don't really watch cartoons. Maybe SpongeBob. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Yeah. Why is the entire game written in uppercase letters? Because it looks good. What are your thoughts on Drive, the movie? It's a good movie. I like it. Who's this guy? And they've sent a picture of our audio engineer, Yanni. Yeah, I guess he would be the lead sound designer. We only hired him for a short period of time, so he was more of a contractor than one of the lead roles for the game. Yanni's a good dude. He worked with us on Pico Tanks as well. Really excellent at audio. What's my favorite color? Purple? Do I watch girly shows? Example, Powerpuff Girls, Barbie. Hello Kitty? Will SSR continue to be free to play game? Yes, of course. Forever. Will SSR become a pay to play game? No. What's your favorite dish that's also relatively easy to cook? Spaghetti bolognese. Easy. Will SSR support Arabic letters? Unlikely. It is extremely difficult to add that support because of how different they are. How many tattoos do you guys have? None. I'm pretty sure Tim has none as well. Do we listen to any girly songs and would you recommend them? I listen to lots of Charlie XCX. Does that count? Does the Australian version have the screen flip? Yep. R32 when? One day. It's got to win one of the votes first. It's been in the vote so many times. I do really want to add it, but one day. One day. What is the average triangle count of the cars in SSR? And more importantly, how many triangles does the game's map take? Oh, this is a good question. So the average triangle counts on the cars is about 40,000 triangles per car. That includes all the mods, all the glowing stuff, the glass, the interior, the wheels, everything. And how many triangles does the game's map take? Well, Twin Palms District takes up 2.5 million triangles, and the new map takes 1.8 million triangles. Interesting. The car's gonna be added, gonna be before 1999 or before 1993? Before 1999. When you released the game, did you think that it still needed finishing? Were you in a hurry or did everything go according to plan? Did you have any investors or is the game and development entirely on your account? When we released the game we absolutely thought it still needed finishing, and to be honest there's still more we want to do in terms of features for SSR, so it kind of still needs finishing. We were in a hurry to get everything done on time. We got some money from the Victorian government. They have like a games fund, so that they were kind of investors, but it was more of a grant. They were just giving us money to make the game. So we had an obligation to them to get the game finished by the start of 2023. And we did, but we did have to cut some stuff, which has now been added, like liveries. Do we hate vegetables? No. Who hates vegetables? Vegetables are great. Do you guys like mango? Yeah. Can you handle Carolina Reaper? Probably not. I haven't had it though. What's first, chicken or the egg? The egg was laid by something not quite resembling a chicken. Milk or cereal? Cereal? Shrimp fried rice as a question? Not sure what the question is, but yes. Have we ever eaten durian? I'm not sure about Timber, but I haven't. What type of songs do you want in SSR? Like genre? Kind of like the songs in the game currently. It would be nice if there was more hip-hop music, I think. Kind of like Need for Speed had, but we just couldn't find anything that really suited. Would you add a song that is in the genre of G-House? I'm not sure what that genre is, but maybe. Will we add more music in the future? Probably. Do you add the milk first then the cereal, or do you put the cereal in first then the milk? Cereal first and then the milk, because I'm not crazy. Cookies or brownies? Cookies. What is your favorite 2024 car? Oh, I'm just not following it at all. Maybe the new Nissan Z. But does that even count as a 2024 car? I don't know. There's a version of it in 2024. Why the name Static Shift Racing? We wanted the word racing in there because it's good for searchability. We liked shift because it's to do with cars. Static is also car related, like the static culture of no shocks, slow cars, kind of combining all that together. What is your favorite tier car in SSR? Tier 5. It's the best tier. What is your favorite body kit part company? I like Altitude Aero Body or Ivy Aero. Those are my two favorite ones. You mean in the real world or in the game? What are, if any, cars you plan to add in the game but weren't added and why? Well, originally we had something resembling a Peugeot 205. But it just didn't work out. Maybe in the future. Are we accepting a software developer intern? No. Controller support when? Controller support has been in the game for a long time. What are the real counterparts of in-game car part companies like Royal Shift, Iviero, etc.? There isn't really a real life counterpart. They're made up from our own brains. Have we ever considered selling the rights to this game to a higher corporate management? We have considered it, but nobody's given us an offer that is even remotely worth it. And honestly, there aren't that many people looking to buy. If SSR goes south and is not successful, which is not happening, what type of game would you guys make? SSR is not going to go south, it's fine. Who is taller between Tim and James? My money is on James. And your money's right, I am taller than Tim. What is Twin Palms district based on? I know it's Australian by how the driving sign and the license plate. It's not really based on Australia. It's just easier for me to make that the default driving side because it's the side I drive on, so it was easier to conceptualize how the lineage on the intersections worked and how the highway worked. But yeah, it's kind of just an amalgamation of lots of different places like Japan, America, the map in Need for Speed Underground 2. What do you think will happen to your game company in 5 to 10 years? Like, will you stop support, continue updating this game, or make new games? Hopefully not stop support and continue updating this game, as well as making new games. What color is my Bugatti? Black. Which source did you use for the game? I'm not sure what you mean. Games in Unity? What's the deal with the hidden snowman head? He's just chilling there. He doesn't have a name, but if you want more lore for the snowman, go check out Pico Tanks. What's my favorite full kit in SSR? I know before I actually said the Renin kits were cool, but the the Ruse kit. I can't remember the name. It's got the numbers in it. Oh, that's right. The RS. What? The RS 926 kit. That's my favorite kit. What is the purpose of the project, and why did we create the game, and who is the target? I think the target is people like us, people who like the kind of older school racing games, street racing. What courses did we mainly learn development and programming, and would you recommend and what would you recommend for IT beginner specialists? Tim did a course for game development in Australia for coding, but I think I can speak for him. The best learning you do is not from a course, but in your own time. Do your own projects. It's the same thing for 3D modeling. I did a TAFE game art course, and then I went to uni to do some stuff, and they taught a little bit, but really the most amount of learning you do is in your own time on your own projects. And no video game developer companies are looking for you at your resume, looking at what courses you've done. They're more interested in your portfolio and what you prove that you can do. Have you ever thought about giving up on the project? What motivated you and continues to motivate you through the project? And how did we build such a consistent product? Like, it may have few events, but still a layman like me can see a lot of potential. We have considered giving up in the early days, but not very long. We were both sure that the game was going to do well, and to some degree it needed to. Is you guys' car either have LS3, LT6 or small block Chevy? Nope. Have you guys ever played Trains Simulator before? No. Looks alright though. Which meat is best, chicken or cow? It's hard. Cow? Although I have chicken a lot. Do we have this in your kitchen? No. Will the new district be separate from Twin Palms or a remaster? Like, we'll be able to choose where we want to cruise at, or is it a revamp? Yeah, there'll be 2 maps, and you can continue driving on Twin Palms or drive on the new map. Twin Palms is getting a very slight visual refresh though. Who's better, Timbo or Jimbo? I'm not gonna answer that. Worst part about SSR? Be honest. Ooh. Worst part about SSR? That's hard. You want me to be honest? It could be more successful. Do you guys have any favorite anime? I'm not really into anime. What's the best Japanese game? Gran Turismo is the best Japanese game by far. What are some ideas for SSR that you planned for but scrapped later? It's funny, actually, people have been suggesting recently to do like a speed trap challenge, which is actually a challenge we had in the game in the past, but scrapped it because it's not fun to just drive through a line at the maximum speed of the car. Who's older between Tim and James, and by how much? Tim is 2 years older than me. Are you lactose intolerant? I used to be, but not anymore. Figured that out. Have you visited Lake Helia? I don't know what that's a reference to. Which Australian products do you recommend me to buy? Tim Tams. What is my favourite instrument? I like the guitar. For those who can't afford a monthly Patreon membership or credits, how can they best support SSR moving forwards? Yeah, if you can't afford to buy anything in the game, that's fine. If you want to best support us, just tell your friends about the game. Do I feel regret? Yep. Do you like knife? Yep. Can you guys cook? Yep. Yeah, we both like cooking. Timbo likes to bake as well, so sometimes he brings in cakes and stuff into the office. Who do you guys hate the most inside of this community? 01. We love everyone inside the community. What's the fastest Jimbo ever drove in his Mercedes? The speed limit. Why is our game so high quality? Yeah, it's because it's good. Did a good job. When will SSR become a popular mobile game with multiple rewards? I'm not sure if that's up to us. Since you mentioned them, why didn't we got ads anymore? They just didn't make financial sense, and we thought they degraded the quality of the game, especially because of the quality of the ads so bad. Will we add super sports cars to the game? No. Favorite SpongeBob episode? The Weenie Hut Jr. one, if you know what I mean. Opinions on Holden? I'm a Ford guy in the Ford vs Holden debate. So those are my opinions on Holden. Have you either of you watched or even heard of Initial D? Yeah, I've definitely heard of Initial D in the Tofu Delivery, but I've actually never watched it. And then we've got a chain of have you, can you, when you, how you, and do you. And yes. Yes. Lettuce or tomato? Tomato. Apple or Android? Android. Need for Speed or Forza? The old Need for Speed and the current Forza. Minecraft or Terraria? Terraria. What keeps you both so motivated in adding and fixing bugs / content for SSR? Seeing the response from you guys is very motivating. Seeing people enjoying the game, yeah, motivates us every day. How much time have you actually spent playing SSR? Probably less than some of you. Some of you played a lot of SSR, but yeah, quite a lot. We've played SSR quite a lot. Pineapple on pizza? Absolutely! Do I break spaghetti? No. Dark mode theme or light mode theme? I like dark mode. I see Tim uses both, depending on his mood. If you use light mode, you're probably on a watch list of some kind. Yeah, I agree. Thoughts on General being so unhinged? We actually tried to control it a little bit in the first, but it was impossible. So happy for it to be unhinged as long as it doesn't spread anywhere else. BMW or Mercedes? Mercedes, although I do like BMW, no hate. Porsche or Audi? Porsche. In the past, Audi had some cool cars. Honda or Toyota? Honda? Best MX-5 generation? You can't go past the pop-ups, it's gotta be the NA. Best RX-7 model? I would've always said the FD, but since modeling the FC in the game, it's growing on me. Favorite F1 team? Mercedes, I think. Yeah, although I wasn't a fan of them dominating so much. But that's not the case anymore. Fortnite or PUBG? PUBG. Oh my god. Me and Tim played so much PUBG when it first came out. Like, daily. Hours. Crazy. Is it true that all Aussies love the Skyline as much as YouTubers tend to say they do? Yeah, there is a lot of love for the Skyline here. I like the Skyline. How many spiders or snakes do you see every day average? I'm 30 years old, and I have seen a snake in the wild once. And I maybe see a spider 2 or 3 times a year. You just don't see them as often as people make it sound like. In Australia, especially in the cities. In the outback it's different though, you will see lots of those all the time. What insects are you afraid of? Spiders. What things were cut from SSR before it's released? Like I mentioned before, the speed trap challenge, also the 205 was cut, liveries were cut, but we added it back in later. Lots of the customization stuff. We were going to add more cars initially too, but we had to release soon, so I guess some of the cars were cut, although They've since all been added. Hatchback car or sedan? Between those two, hatchback, depending on which. Would you rather have a Lamborghini or build your dream car? Build the dream car. Gen 5 or BRC? Gen 5, A11 or Ruse? Ruse every day, although the stats say I'm just wrong on that. Most people pick the A11. Warbler or the RL30? RL30. Easy peasy. $10 or mystery gift? Mystery gift. Mystery gift. Coupe or shooting brake? Coupe. How long? 6 foot? Ish? A little bit more. F1 or DTM? Oh! F1 at the moment, for sure. I barely watch any DTM, but the DTM in the 90s was so cool. Do you and Timbo ever argue about what kits or parts / features you should add? I wouldn't say argue, but we discuss all of that stuff a lot. Alright, I think I've made it to the end of all the questions. Yeah, sorry if I didn't answer your question. Some of them were a bit repetitive, and some of them I just didn't have a good answer for. But thanks for watching, and see you next time.